17th shloka. Today we are going to do the 17th shloka. Let me chant it. Atma vinishkalo heko deho bahubhiravritaha tayoraikyam prapashyante kima jnanamata param. Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya writes these verses in Aparoksh Anubhuti, meaning the direct experience of the divine. Let's see what this particular shlok translates as. Atma is one, indeed without parts, while the body is made up of many parts. But still they consider these two as one. What greater ignorance can there be than this? So again and again, Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya reminds us that our true identity is not the body, but our true identity is Atma, the divine. And still, it's so difficult for us to consider ourselves as Atma and not take ourselves as the body. So, knowing that it is very difficult for us, Bhagwan has dedicated the next 5 shlokas to give us the differences between body and Atma. And he says that in spite of now knowing all these differences, that there are many differences, if someone still considers themselves to be the body, then he says, what greater ignorance can there be? So today I'm going to give you a list of all the differences in all the 5 shlokas which will follow from here, the difference between body, physical body, and Atma. First difference. There is a difference between subject and object, right? An object is something that is perceived, and the subject is the one who perceives. So the body is the object. It is experienced. It is perceived. Who is perceiving it? Atma. So Atma is considered as subject. The physical body is considered as object. That's the first difference. Secondly, in physical body, for example, I have a physical body, somebody else has a physical body. We consider ourselves as separate. I am separate, you are separate. There is space between me and you, right? So physical bodies have space between them. Whereas Atma is all pervasive. There is no space where Atma is not there. So that is a big difference between physical bodies, which are separate and have space between them, and Atma, which is all pervasive, where there is no space at all, where there is no Atma. Then 3, the physical body, it has a shape, it has a form, it has a boundary. That is why it can be made separate from the other, isn't it? But an Atma is all pervasive, so it has no shape, it has no form. That is a third way of trying to see the difference between a body and Atma. Body has shape, form, Atma has no shape, no form. Number 4, see this body. It's made up of different parts. There is a head, there are limbs, there's a torso, there are organs, there's a foot, there are fingers, all kinds of different parts come together to make up a physical body. In Atma, no parts. It is all just one, eko. Everywhere there is just one Atma. There are no parts to the Atma. There is no my Atma and your Atma. There's no difference. It is only one. There is no parts to an Atma. Then see the physical body. It keeps changing. It changes in height. It changes in weight. It changes in looks. It changes in girth. It is continuously changing. right? We have experienced that. With age also, it goes on changing. Atma, absolutely no change whatsoever. That's one more difference. It is always the same. Then, interesting, the physical body has no life by itself. It is a corpse. It's just matter. It's no different from a rock, maybe. It's just lifeless. What makes it get life is the Atma. So, by itself, the physical body is no better than a corpse. The Atma is the enlivener of the body. It's what gives life to the body. Big difference. Then, the physical body is made up of Panchabhut, 5 different elements: space, air, fire, water, earth, Panchabhut. Atma is beyond the Panchabhut. Atma is something that is even nowhere comes into the realm of Panchabhut. So it's beyond matter. It has nothing to do with matter. Physical body, if you were to take out the skin, which makes the body look pleasurable, makes the body pleasing to the eye, you would not be able to look at the body for long. It is filled with blood and flesh and some kind of sinew. To look at a picture of a body without the skin is quite repulsive. And it is rotting material. It rots. It has absolutely putrefying. Whereas the Atma is purity itself. It's divinity itself. It's not made up of any matter, good or bad. It is beyond all those, conditions of matter. Matter has conditions. It rots. It becomes worse. It decays, but not the Atma, right? Now, most important, the physical body. It has a birth. Then after some time it grows, it decays. And after some time, it dies. It is transient. It is not permanent. Whereas the Atma has no birth, and therefore it has no death, and therefore we call it eternal. It is existence itself. Sat. So when we talk about divinity, we use the term Sat, Chit, Anand. Atma is that Sat. It's that divine existence itself. That is the nature of Atma. The body is transient, it is born, it decays, and it dies. Next, as we said, the physical body is an object and it is perceivable, it is known by the 5 senses and the mind, right? We can see things because of the 5 senses. We can smell, we can touch, we can taste, we can hear because of the 5 senses, and that is part of the physical body. But the Atma is that knowing principle because of which we can know things. It is not knowing something. It is the very fact that makes knowing possible. It is not knowledge of something. It is the knowing principle. It is that which makes knowing possible. And we call that Chit. When we say Sat, Chit, Anand, Atma is the Chit of Sat, Chit, Anand. It makes knowing possible. It is pure knowing principle. It is pure consciousness. And finally, this physical body, and when we say body, mind, intellect, all that gets in the same word as body. This body is subject to happiness, subject to sadness, subject to problems, sorrows, tribulations. It gets happy for some reason, it gets sad for some reason. All kinds of things make it happy, sad. It's conditioned by different situations, but not the Atma. The Atma doesn't know any emotion, doesn't know any sorrow, doesn't know any tribulation, doesn't know any problem, doesn't know happiness or sadness. Why? Because it is pure Anand itself. When we say Sat, Chit, Anand, Atma is Anand. It's the Anand part of Sat, Chit, Anand. So these are lots of differences and very difficult for someone to grasp all this in one shot. And I agree that it is quite difficult. But these are not things to learn by heart. I don't expect you to learn all these things by heart. Each of these differences, each one, and there are 12 of them, each is a subject of contemplation. Each is a subject that one has to sit in deep meditation and experience the difference between body and Atma. And this is what a senior, advanced student of Vedanta has to do. It is not for the KG class of Vedanta that this kind of contemplation is done. This should be done after the mind, after the antakaran has been suitably purified of its mal, purified of its vikshepa. Then only the sadhak can sit in contemplation and contemplate on these 12 points of differences between Atma and physical body. How will we get that purity? How will we make ourselves ready for this kind of contemplation? Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya tells us again and again, the place to start is Karma Yoga. Do your actions in Karma Yoga Bhav. You don't have to do anything special. Just change the attitude with which you do your actions. That itself will purify your antakaran, and you will be ready then to make enough progress through the contemplation of differences between Atma and physical body. Think about this for a while. Do Karma Yoga. You are doing so many actions during the day, every hour, every minute you're doing an action. Bring in Karma Yoga Bhav in each and every action. Soon you will be ready for senior, advanced practices of Vedanta. More on this next Thursday. Oh.